The book of First Kings is the 11th book in the Old Testament of the Bible and is a continuation of the historical narrative that began in the book of First Samuel. It is believed to have been written by the prophet Jeremiah, and it covers the time period of King David's death to the end of King Solomon's reign. The book is divided into two main sections, with the first half focusing on the exploits of King Solomon, and the second half focusing on the division and downfall of the kingdom of Israel. The opening chapters of First Kings depict the final days of David, the great king of Israel, and his preparations for his son Solomon to succeed him as king. David passes on his final instructions to Solomon, including the command to follow the laws and ways of the Lord. After David's death, Solomon becomes the new ruler of Israel and is anointed by Zadok the priest as the third king of the United Kingdom. Under Solomon's leadership, the kingdom of Israel experiences a period of great prosperity and expansion, as well as the construction of the first temple in Jerusalem. In chapter 3, God appears to Solomon in a dream and offers him the opportunity to ask for anything he desires. Solomon humbly asks for wisdom and discernment to govern the people of Israel, and God is pleased with his request and promises to grant it. Solomon is also blessed with great wealth, power, and success in all his endeavors. His reign is marked by great achievements, including the construction of the temple, the building of his palace, and extensive trade and diplomatic relations with other nations. However, despite his many accomplishments, Solomon eventually turns away from following the ways of the Lord and begins to stray after other gods. He spends lavishly on his own pleasures, including marrying many foreign women who lead him astray with their idolatry. In chapter 11, God rebukes Solomon for his disobedience and warns him that the kingdom will be torn from his descendant's hands. As a result, Solomon's rule is marred by conflict, and the once united kingdom of Israel begins to crumble. The second section of First Kings begins with the division of the kingdom of Israel. Following Solomon's death, his son Rehoboam becomes the king of Judah, while Jeroboam becomes the king of the northern tribes of Israel. Jeroboam, fearing that the people of Israel would reunite under the rule of Rehoboam, sets up golden calves as idols for the people to worship and institutes new religious practices that are not in accordance with the laws of the Lord. This sets a pattern that will be repeated throughout the history of the divided kingdom. The narrative then shifts between the kings of Israel and Judah, documenting their successes and failures in following the Lord. Kings such as Asa, Joash, and Hezekiah of Judah are praised for their faithfulness and reforms, while kings such as Jeroboam and Ahab of Israel are criticized for their idolatry and wickedness. The prophets Elijah and Elisha also play prominent roles in this section, performing miraculous acts and speaking out against the unfaithfulness of the kings and people of Israel. As time goes on, the kingdom of Israel becomes more and more divided, facing constant threats from neighboring nations and internal struggles for power. In chapter 17, the Assyrians attack Samaria, the capital city of Israel, and take the people into captivity. The kingdom of Judah also faces its own downfall and is eventually conquered by the Babylonians in chapter 25. The book of First Kings ends with the fall of both kingdoms and the destruction of Jerusalem and the temple. However, it also leaves room for hope, with the book concluding on a positive note as King Jehoiakim is released from prison and given favor in the court of the new Babylonian king, signaling the possibility of restoration in the future. This sets the stage for the continuation of the narrative in the book of 2 Kings. In conclusion, the book of 1 Kings provides a historical account of the rise and fall of the United Kingdom of Israel, its division into two separate kingdoms, and its ultimate downfall. It also serves as a cautionary tale of the consequences of turning away from the Lord and following after other gods. Despite the failures and shortcomings of the kings and people of Israel, the book also highlights the faithfulness of God and the hope of restoration for his people.